Turn your volume off.
No.
All right, so
Welcome to the pod.
hold on. If we're only using my mic, then I'm gonna be the only one on camera.
No, we both gotta be on camera.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Okay, we have to do the mic.
Okay. Oh.
We have to do the mic mute unmute strat.
Okay.
All right, so welcome to Two Guys, One Pod, One Book, One Pod.
Oh.
Well,
One pod.
Wait. All right, you want to talk?
Yeah, sure. Welcome back after a hiatus.
It's been about 8 months.
Yep. Live from the living room.
Bev's in hand.
A little beverage. It's around 10:30 p.m. Friday night.
Not really sure what we're going to talk about quite yet.
Nope. How about we start with this? What's going on in Russia, man? What's going on with that?
Hey, you got to make sure to Russia? What's Russia?
You know, I'm going through a little bit of a war. Trying to beat these Ukrainians. Not going so well.
Who's winning? The Ukrainians?
This stop and go is so mental. For all y'all listening, I'm looking over at Johnny's computer when he stops talking the way he mutes himself. And then he's looking at mine when I'm not muted. Yeah, they're losing, I think. Well, no, they're really not. What's really happening is America's losing. America.
You know, one thing that we texted back and forth about earlier this week that I thought that we should say is our parables or our metaphors or imagery of America, right? I think the one that I texted you was like, America was a really rich crackhead, and now we've run out of money, and now we're just a crackhead.
Yes, and we're a very in-debt crackhead who, in order to buy their crack, needs to ask China for money. That's what's going on. And the public is so deluded with things that do not impact or benefit our lives, and they're so okay with subscribing to a thought process that they forget the one thing that kept us together as a nation in the past, which is our American identity. That's what I think.
Pretty cringe overall, if you ask me. Proud to be an American, for sure.
Yeah, until China takes over, but I don't know if you heard about the whole situation with the Ukrainians targeting like warning shots. Or I'm not sure exactly. I can't remember what video article I watched, but it was something about how the Ukrainians were focusing nuclear plants in Russia. Pretty serious stuff.
Yeah, they're shooting Western missiles into Russia. And Russia doesn't like that.
Yeah, they're a little bit upset because that could cause a what was that situation that happened in Japan? I forget what that Fukushima, wherever it blew up because of the because of the tsunami and everything.
What about Chernobyl?
That's another big one. Meltdown situation where you got to evacuate, and yeah, I mean it's definitely very risky. I mean they're playing with fire here, especially with the country that has the most nuclear weapons on Earth. So,
Hey, and Russia likes it so much. Russia likes the Ukraine firing United States and German and NATO missiles into Russia so much that they came over into the Caribbean and set up shop on Cuba again. They wanted to pay us a little visit.
I didn't hear about this. Give the audience a little rundown because honestly, I haven't heard about that.
You haven't heard about the Russian ships in the Caribbean?
I have not. I mean, to the best of my understanding, I thought the Russian fleet was like so small that they didn't even have like that many vessels. Like I didn't think that they had a presence, like especially this far out. It's me a million. It's me a million times.
It's like a video echo.
Okay.
All right. Here, let's see. The arrival at Havana Harbor this week of 3 Russian military ships and a nuclear powered submarine to take part in exercises. You know, what do they use exercises for? They use exercises as a threat. Like NATO during this Russia Ukraine conflict several times has done military exercises, one of them being the biggest ever, as a threat to Russia, like clearly. And so Russia came over to the Caribbean and with apparently 3 ships and a submarine. And submarines, by the way, are pretty hard to track. And they're in the Caribbean, and Cuba was like coordinating their travel over here. Like Cuba is very much involved in this. And I don't know. I think you probably remember, right? The whole Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah, I mean that was all a. I mean, what it is it's spheres of influence, right? Like I think what they're doing is a response to what we did, in the sense of we, being the United States and our allies, have invaded their sphere of influence, right, by getting into Ukraine. So what they're doing is a response, it seems like, and they're trying to do what they did during the Cuban Missile Crisis, which is basically threaten our sphere of influence. Try to get in there and basically say, oh, you thought things were secure now in Cuba, not so much, right?
And didn't Russia also say recently that if we keep doing what we're doing in Ukraine, like keep pushing their boundaries with like shooting missiles now into Russian territory, they would respond with like non-congruent warfare. What was the word? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. I haven't seen the. Let's see. I gotta remind myself.
They were talking about Russia was saying, all right, I'll try and look this up too. New tab. Russia respond with unpredictable, non. It was like imbalanced warfare or something like that. Proportionate, disproportionate, with disproportionate. Essentially, they were when I heard this. Whoever was talking about it was like they're going to respond with warfare that isn't necessarily them camping out on the United States border and shooting missiles into our territory like they're doing. Um, they, I think I was listening to this guy Blazing Press, and he was like, that they're going to respond with, things like cyber attacks or I don't know, injecting diseases into
non-conventional warfare.
yeah, like essentially they're gonna conduct warfare, but it's not necessarily gonna be the same type of war. They're not gonna do the same thing that we're doing necessarily.
Okay. Well, I mean, but again, we got to kind of look at it and be like, okay, not to be a Russian ally, but ultimately, I mean, we are not technically at war with them, but we're approaching this war from a very non-conventional means as well, because we're supporting a country that has not in any way previously been aligned with us, right? And we're basically saying, oh, we agree with this leader's policy and we want for him to kind of be a puppet of the West. So we're going to basically conduct a proxy war. So it kind of makes sense for them to retaliate in a similar way where it's not a conventional means, but they're saying that, hey, like, if you're going to come at us this way, we're going to come at you from a strange angle as well. Right. So I don't know.
Both of us were muted. That's cringe. I'm trying to find like this Russia like respond with like I can't find the word, but I guess it doesn't matter.
Well, I think the point stands, right? I mean, we're talking about a method of combating an external force that is not directly through boots on the ground, right? Just like what we're doing.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I've heard arguments saying that, oh, we're not giving Ukraine our best, and latest equipment and technology and, weapons. But I heard that Russia actually abducted a Abrams tank recently.
Oh, that's how intact was it?
Pretty well intact, but something that's online were very like, they were kind of countering each other. Like some were saying that, oh, they got an Abrams tank, like they can reverse engineer, which is 100% the easiest way to build something is to reverse engineer it, right? But another thing was saying that, oh, this was like an Abrams tank. It's a model. It's almost like a car, right? Like it's like saying they stole a Corolla. Like it could be a '90s Corolla, but it could also be a 2024.
Yeah.
So an older one, but I don't know. I'll try to see the article on that and see if I can share it.
Here, I think we can both stay unmuted because I'm looking at the mic signatures and it looks like because we don't have volume on.
Oh,
So just stay unmuted.
okay.
Okay. Well, yeah, I do think Russia seems to be responding with a response that isn't necessarily exactly what we're doing. Russia's sending over warships and stuff, but we've also had these crazy cell phone service outages. Did you hear about that type of stuff?
I'm not.
Like AT&T. You surely heard about AT&T going out like a couple of months ago. Like there was a massive outage, like no internet service on AT&T.
I don't think so.
Here.
Well, let me share this real quick. While I have it, I just want to show you what I'm seeing here. One second. Choose what to share. Yeah, I want to share this. Coming through.
Sure.
Yeah. So right here, it says they're actually showing the tanks on display. Here, so it says more than 30 armored vehicles have been put on display. One of which being this Abrams here.
Yeah, that seems pretty intact, huh?
Yeah, and they're saying, I mean, it says, according to the BBC, it's saying, down here, displaying, it says Ukraine's done the same where they basically capture, I mean, it's a morale booster, right? But also it's saying that, like, oh, it reinforces the fact that this is the West versus Russia, kind of showing who your real enemy is, right? Because I don't think Russians really think that Ukraine is the enemy at this point. I think they're seeing, in terms of like what the zeitgeist is for that's coming from this propaganda, they're trying to show the U.S. and the West being the enemy, right? Like they're feeding rebellion, this insurrection against Russia. So I think that this kind of does several things. I mean, it further kind of plays into Putin's game of, without a doubt, he's not a great guy. He's definitely involved with a lot of propaganda, really, like, not even shy about it.
Yeah.
So I think that it kind of fuels that, almost like a justification for his actions. But beyond that, I think it also it further it opens up the door for them to reverse engineer things and to kind of improve their own military technology. And they've shown through the course of this conflict that they have more than enough, even with the sanctions and everything, they have more than enough resources to allocate when it comes to military funding. So
Yeah, it's it's pretty wild. The world's definitely dipping its toes in a world war, huh?
yeah, it's been doing that. I think the only situation that can cause a direct conflict between the U.S. and Russia, though, would be an attack on some form of embassy or U.S. people dying.
Yeah, but I mean, what's weird is that was like, wasn't that already happening in the Middle East? Like, when the Houthis were getting involved with the Israeli-Palestinian thing, Israeli-Gaza thing, like there were a bunch of attacks on embassies.
Did anyone die? Well, the embassies, they didn't attack U.S. embassies.
Or not embassies, but military bases.
Yeah, I mean, there were like, yes. But again, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't think anybody, whether it's Russia or the United States or China for that matter, I don't think that they would, because that's a rebel group and it's a proxy of someone else, they would need for that other group to directly attack them to declare that as an act of war, right? Because you could say the Houthis attacked me, I'm going to by proxy declare war on Iran, but that's not really how that works. Iran is going to deny involvement in that. So unless Iran directly instigates an attack on the United States is not going to engage. And I don't think that U.S. because if historically, if a U.S. embassy, look at freaking Black Hawk Down, the whole Mogadishu, the whole thing in Somalia, like you can't. The minute you engage a U.S. embassy, that's war. It's an act of war, right, against the United States.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Going back though to the unparalleled, non-congruent warfare Russia conduct, or claims they would conduct, February 22nd, apparently. This happened recently. Was the cell phone outage. So I just looked up March AT&T cell outage, right? And we see FCC opens formal investigation into massive AT&T outage. The outage left many The outage left many AT&T customers without cell phone service for much of the morning and early afternoon on February 22nd, with outage reports starting around 3:30 a.m., resolving by 3 p.m. So 12 hours of major outages. Like people weren't able to like text or call with this. Like it was they weren't able to browse the internet or use their cell service or anything like that. It was pretty big. It actually happened again recently. Like I think it was this month that a smaller outage happened. But there was a lot of speculation as to whether this was a cyber attack or not, and depending on who you listen to and who you talk to and stuff like that, it seems pretty likely that it actually was. And then you ask the question, okay, who would do this in the United States? Like, who would do this in the United States? Well, probably our enemies, like the Russians or whatever, that we're currently conducting war against.
Or it could be China testing their capabilities.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, if the time came, could we do this? Yeah. Could be a lot of different parties.
But it's just pretty wild. I think it's a good example of possibly one of the non-congruent warfare tactics that Russia or China or any of their allies, the Eastern Coalition, the Axis powers.
Right.
Of course, whoever wins the war will be the allies, and whoever loses will be the Axis. But I definitely think I agree with you. Like it was more of a war more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would kind of see it as almost like a test of strength, almost like a show of strength. In the past, you did that by, and some people still do it now. Like North Korea testing nuclear strikes and that sort of thing. Like, oh, look at us, we got missiles too. But I think that this is more of a scary. Well, they're both scary, but I think this is more because we're talking about wiping out the grid that we so rely on now for everyday people. Right?
Yeah.
Like your actual citizens, which is, I think, is a different type of warfare. It's almost like, in a way, you can almost classify it as like a psychological warfare.
Yeah.
Right? You're threatening to take something away that we now need so much. I mean, how much of our GDP is from like internet related? Like, think about it. Like, I mean, our entire now, even if you don't work, even if you work in construction, you're still lost all of your paychecks, all of your this, like everything that you're doing outside of your hands-on job is all done via the internet. So if you wipe out the internet, you got no communication, you got no work, you're not getting paid cash anymore, right? So you're not getting cash. Like, it's like, what happens then?
Yeah, it reminds me of the Rick and Morty episode where they're like, Rick is like invading centralized government of the universe or whatever. And he's like he's like, Summer and Morty are with him, and they're like, how are you gonna destroy the government or whatever? Are you gonna like launch all the nukes and all these things? And then he was like, nope, I'm just gonna turn a 1 to a 0. And then you know what? We're on the internet. Just pull it up.
Play the clip.
Are we gonna get copyrighted? Let's just go. Let's go on Rumble. Probably not gonna find anything on Rumble. Oh gosh.
J Move, pull it up.
I'm
Pull
kidding.
it up. J Move, pull it up.
All right. Rick and Morty. 1 to 0.
You're still sharing.
Oh yeah.
Sharing that.
Share this app.
Employee of the month, ladies and gentlemen.
So what are you doing with level 9 access anyway?
Destroying the
Okay, well,
galactic
this scene,
government.
Rick was like,
Awesome! Are
what
you going
do
to set all their
do? What
nukes
do
to target
do?
each
You
other?
Or
launch
reprogram their
missiles
military
or
portals to
whatever?
disintegrate their entire
he's
space
like,
fleet?
Good
Nope,
pitches,
I'm
kids.
gonna
I'm almost
change
there.
one.
But watch closely as Grandpa topples an empire by changing a 1 to a 0.
1 to a 0. And then
Mr.
all
President, the Blemflark's value just dropped to nothing.
What do you mean?
I mean, our single centralized galactic currency just went from being worth 1 of itself to 0 of itself.
Oh, dear God, no.
Calm down, people. Deploy the galactic militia and declare martial law.
Yes, sir. What should I pay them with?
Their payment is the honor they'll feel to serve their... Wait, who's paying me to yell at this guy?
I can answer that. For money.
I never thought I'd live to see this.
Gentlemen! There's a solution here you're not seeing.
perfect. All right, we gotta mute. Okay.
That's actually pretty accurate, though.
So why are we talking about? Oh yeah, the internet.
If we lose that, we're screwed.
Yeah. Just as is if we lose our global dollar dominance, we're screwed. And do you know what also happened? June 12th, this week. Moscow Exchange, the biggest Moscow exchange, MOEX, suspend trading in dollars and euros. So this is the West in its entirety.
Well, I mean, but like the U.S. I mean, I don't think that this really impacts the U.S. because we weren't trading in rubles. Like at the end of the day, like I mean, like they weren't exchanging the dollars anyway because we weren't transacting in rubles. So like they basically made the entire transfer from dollars to rubles basically impossible. Right? Like when you're transacting with Russia, we pretty much a whole trade prevention. So this is just their countermeasure saying, "Oh, we're doing something in response." We weren't trading with them to begin with, in terms of like, okay, well, yeah. But this affects Europe, and I think it affects the United States because they need Russian natural gas.
Yeah.
So I think it affects them a lot more than it affects us.
Yeah. I mean,
Still major.
so this is what it says in here. The suspension of dollar and euro trade on the platform, which has been booming lately, comes into effect on Thursday. The MOEX reported registering all-time high private investor activity back in February, with a total of 4.1 million individuals conducting transactions on the platform. Last month, the total trade volumes across the platform's markets measured at 1.4 trillion compared to 1 trillion the same period a year ago.
Well, you think that's because of the war? Because I'm assuming their markets are down a lot with all the sanctions and with the wartime situation. Do you think it's just like, arbitration or like arbitrage seeking investors who are basically saying like, okay, like this makes sense for me to invest now because
It could be. I mean, but regardless, like this decreases demand for dollars. Like obviously, I think in Russia there wasn't a lot of demand for dollars necessarily. But like this does decrease a significant amount of demand for dollars in Russia if there was any, And then on top of that, this same week, did you hear about this?
yeah, I looked this up at work.
Yeah, we talked about it. We were on the phone. So basically, I don't know what this article says, but on Sunday, June 9th, okay, on June 9th, the agreement expired, and it doesn't appear that it will be renewed. This agreement is about the petrodollar. There was an agreement, in the wake of the 1973 oil crisis. So this was also back when, pretty much right when we went from gold standard to so we closed the gold window, right?
To enable this as our new process,
Yeah.
right?
Saudi Arabia agreed to conduct all oil transactions in dollars and invest its oil surplus funds in U.S. treasuries in exchange for U.S. military support. So this agreement just expired. And so now Saudi Arabia is conducting oil transactions in dollars and other currencies now. So when this happened, there was a lot of demand for dollars because Saudi Arabia is a huge oil producer.
One of the biggest for sure, if not the biggest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if the only way you can get oil for your country at a reasonable price is by buying it in dollars, well, obviously you're going to go and get dollars to pay for your oil because energy runs everything. Energy keeps your lights on, keeps our internet running, it keeps our gas flowing, like oil, it keeps the cars driving, like oil produces the computers we have and the couches we're sitting on and the houses we built. Oil does everything right now, despite all this green energy propaganda. And if the only way, and this was especially true in 1970s and 80s and 90s, but it still is true today. If the only way you can get oil was by buying in US dollars, well, that creates a lot of demand for the US dollar. And that's what kind of backed the US dollar. It was backed by oil. It was the petrodollar. And now that this agreement is over, well, all of a sudden there's a lot less demand for dollars. And that's what this article says too. And what that means is we can no longer export our dollars to other nations. And what that also means is eventually all those dollars that are out circulating the nations, eventually they're going to be traded back.
Yeah.
No one's going to need them. So, if you give them away, they're eventually going to end up in the U.S. because we need dollars.
I wonder about that treasury part too, where it says that they invest surplus, right? Like they're not doing that anymore.
That's also huge.
Yeah.
Because our treasuries are how we print dollars.
Right.
So this is not good. Like, obviously, I think this is way bigger than the MOEX, the Moscow Exchange, halting trade dollars for I don't know how long. But this is huge, and I'm surprised that no one's kind of talking.
It's interesting. I didn't really think about it till now, but I wonder if all of this ESG talk, specifically as it relates to renewable energy, like, okay, I think we can agree that in an ideal world, if renewable energy was cheap, very, very cheap, and it was not invasive, and it was cheap to bring up, and cheap to maintain, and it provided all the necessary energy we needed, I think we can both agree that that would be the ideal solution, right? Like, if we could just replace everything, snap our fingers, build things super cheap, and basically live free, we want to figure out. I think that's the best possible thing.
Yeah.
However, one thing I didn't think about till now, well, not feasible, folks. Not feasible, y'all. Not to the scale that we need the energy. Like, it's not feasible. It's a supplementary form of energy. And yeah, you get to power your home during the summer months. Maybe, but it's not something that can power city grids. It can't. It just on a global scale, population you have now, not possible. If you live in the middle of Alaska, then maybe you can use hydroelectric for your house. This might be possible, but like anyway, point is, my thought was what if all that push that was relatively recent? Obviously, it's an idea that's been had since the 90s and possibly earlier. But I know that like the recent really heavy push on this, right? Like I wonder if it came from the top down because they realized that the ground was kind of falling out from under them, like in terms of the whole gas or not gas, what's it called, oil. Like the whole petrol, like the whole situation in Saudi Arabia. I think that they might have started to realize that, hey, like, just like what happened with Iran. Iran used to be one of our biggest oil suppliers. Same thing with the United Kingdom. Like they did the same thing, they supplied them with oil until things changed. The revolution happened, and they were like, oh, we're not going to do anything anymore. So I wonder if it's one of those situations where maybe, Saudi Arabia, those like that family is very known to be very shrewd. They're very good. They're very, they help to provide to Saudi Arabia. Like they want to be whoever's going to pay the most. And I think that they realize that the United States is not their best bet. Hedging their bets, and I think that maybe this whole push for ESG and the whole thing for like, oh, we need to be even more adamant about climate and renewable resources because we realize that we have a timeline.
Dude, and the whole and that actually makes a lot of sense. And I remember we were reading in Ray Dalia's book, like obviously the country with like the most military power and stuff like that, obviously like have a greater chance of holding global reserve currency, which allows them to export inflation and gives them a huge advantage in terms of economic power. But also, what was I gonna say? So we were talking about top-down ESG, the ground falling out. Oh, so another thing Ray Dalio pointed out was obviously like good regulation, like good laws, financial laws, and enforcement and stuff like that is pretty necessary for countries to trust the global reserve currency. Like, there's got to be some sort of laws in place and enforcing the laws that don't allow like corruption to happen. Because if corruption's happening, then someone's getting screwed over.
Right.
And that is also going out the window right now. With like, and I think really good evidence of that is its law there against Donald Trump. Like, well, I don't know what we think about Donald Trump and stuff like that, but him slightly inflating the value of his real estate for going and getting appraisals and using the highest appraisal as the value of his real estate is common practice. Well, and if he wasn't running for president, if he wasn't a former president, then he wouldn't have been persecuted.
And that's the thing. That's the thing, kids. That's the thing, kids. No matter how you feel about Donald Trump, it's the hypocrisy of the system. That's what it is. And I think that's what people are most upset about. It's not about Donald Trump. Oh, no, screw the billionaires. Like, look, at the end of the day, like, you should not be able to do that, right? I think that's something that is still, does it happen? Yes. Should it happen? No. Right now. But at the end of the day, it's the fact that you have other people, the fact that we allow for folks like Nancy Pelosi, it doesn't matter what party you are. The fact that there are people in power who are able to leverage their lawmaking ability to be able to make millions of dollars on like $100,000 a year salary or whatever it is, $200,000 a year. That's crazy. And then we're going to look at Donald Trump and basically put the pariah hat on him and say, oh, this guy's the worst guy ever. He's doing all this stuff. He hates America. He shouldn't be president, a former president. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like, if you're going to address politicians, people who work in
the public realm with that level of stringency, you need to address everybody. Everybody. And if that's the case, they would be pulling every single person in that freaking Senate and the House to court. Everyone would be going to court. Everyone would be getting sued. So that's the crazy part about it, right? Like, it's like the fact that you can make millions, and then you're going to go ahead and put the blame hat on this one guy who was former president because he's a divisive guy. No, it's not right. It's not right.
Yeah.
No, it's not right. But on the I didn't want to say about the corruption thing. That's been going on, man. This is different because they're finally talking about the president. What about the whole thing with Obama not being a citizen? That was a big thing, and that's a pretty heavy allegation at the end of the day, right? So I mean, like, I don't think Trump is unique in the sense that he's the one person who's being pursued like this. They try to do a lot of things with Obama as well.
Yeah. This is the first president that has been convicted of a felony.
Yes, that's true.
So it does mark some extra corruption.
For sure. I think it's just because it's blatantly obvious. Because not only is it any president, but it's Donald Trump of people too, right? Like, he's not the type of guy to get convicted of something or to get in trouble for not. The entire world knows that. You know, like, it's also part of his character. But that's the thing. I do agree with you. But I mean, it's been corrupt. It's been corrupt. I think it's been corrupt since JFK. Really, since JFK.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
the CIA has become an organization. I think
Nixon put us on the gold standard, or took us off.
But I think honestly,
What, like France is coming over to get their gold, and then Nixon was like,
no, don't do that anymore. It's like
you're gonna trust these guys?
It's like your girlfriend coming over for drinks. He's like, oh, finally we get to have that drink. You haven't been able to hang out with me. Like, I don't do that anymore. I don't drink anymore. Like, oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. So am I still getting a drink or? No, but I think that since my hot take, ever since the CIA has been created as an organization, this country has been, since that deep state was formed, this country has not been the same. And until that deep state is, because the thing is, these people work in the shadows, and they work in the shadows. And until these people are figured out and basically kicked out, and we do a little cleaning house of Congress,
Drain the swamp.
we don't get anywhere. I mean, look, man, everyone is. I was listening to a Rogan episode earlier. Also, kids, I don't give a shit what you think about Rogan. I don't. He's got cool guests on. I like listening to his podcast. Anyways, I don't give a shit what y'all think. Y'all can shut up and unsubscribe. And if you are subscribed and you don't like that sort of shit, then you probably subscribe to the wrong channel. That to say, they were talking about the age of the founding fathers when they signed the Declaration of
How old were they?
Dude, let's pull it up.
Were they like 40?
No, sir. J-Mo, pull it up.
Share your screen, buddy.
I'm gonna pull it up first.
No, it's always good to show the Google search so you can show kids how to research.
Yeah, no
things.
doubt. Here, let me show y'all. What a master does. All right, J-Mo, pull it up. All right, am I sharing?
Yeah.
J-Mo. All right, we're gonna go age of founding fathers in 1776. James Monroe,
Bruh.
18. Aaron Burr, 20. Alexander Hamilton was 21. James Madison, 25. Thomas Jefferson, the Ripe, 33. John Adams, 40. George Washington, 44. We have to understand George Washington was also the general of the Continental Army. He was 44 years old. He's a grown man. I think Ben Franklin was like in his 60s or something. Ben Franklin was definitely a lot older. But this is to say that the fact that we have people in power who are making decisions at the highest level, who are in their 70s and 80s, is unbelievable. These people were fighting. We have to understand, like, when we talk about extremists, these people in that day and age were extremists. 100%. No one ever thought of this idea for founding a country until they did, and everyone thought they were crazy. And on top of that, they rebelled through violent means. That's the definition of extremism. It's ideological extremism, right? You're saying, screw the king, screw the taxation process that we have through England. We're our own people. We make our own decisions. We're going to go and do this. No one's ever done that. And they kicked off a wave of rebellions. And that pretty much marked the start of the end. Well, not really the start of the end, but it was the crumbling of the British Empire, as it was, right? So that's to say, I'll stop sharing. That's to say, like, young people got good at it. I think that you shouldn't be president or in Congress until like you're into it. I mean, especially president. I think 35 is fair, but I think 30 is probably below that.
Fairer.
Yeah, I don't think you should be like my age and be president. I think I would cause some problems. But that's to say, I mean, like,
We should have a maximum age.
we should. That's the thing. If we can set a minimum, there should be a maximum. It's not ageist to set a maximum. These people should be out of power. And at the end of the day, you can see it as if anything, it's a benefit to them. Because look, you shouldn't be in this situation when you're 80 years old. Like, what's that news that you share with the I just want to see some like Iranian burner.
Oh yeah.
It's so ridiculous. Pull them up.
Let me find it.
Pull it up.
Gosh, I assume I sent it to you.
You definitely did, but like,
It's in the archives. Okay.
You get one.
How do I find this? All right, here. Let me show you how to research a meme right here. I gotta show the whole window because when I don't show the window, then you can't see my Google search for the love
Dude, these couches are comfortable, man.
of God. I just want to nuke Iran name. All right, images.
Yeah.
Hold on, please. Hold on. This is
Republican Iowa. We
All
got.
right, hold on. We gotta open image, a new tab. All right. Graham, bomb Iran, even if no direct evidence enrolled.
Which is crazy, y'all.
Senator Lindsey Graham, South Carolina. All right.
He said, even if there's no direct evidence.
Lindsey Graham age.
Golly.
70 years old.
Yeah, but Lindsey Graham's a crazy mother guy. He's a crazy guy.
All right, this is our guy, Lindsey
Holding blood
Graham,
keys.
Republican, Iowa, 118 years old. Please, God, just let us nuke Iran. Nothing else matters. I'll do anything, please. I just want to see burning flesh one last time before I die. Respectable.
He's a respectable
bipartisan.
bipartisan, which is the funniest part. He's a respectable bipartisan. Yes.
That's how you research a meme, kids.
Well, I think we need to understand, though, that these people, look, if you don't understand how to operate the internet, I'm sorry, dude. How are you going to be responsible with putting us in war now? That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, you hear the TikTok trials, sometimes I laugh when I'm watching those because it's like, they're like, I hear on TikTok, track your data. It's like, my God.
And they always gotta type on their phone like this, like
They go like this.
they go hold on.
I can't lie, I'm guilty of this at work. Dude. Sometimes, like, I unknowingly, I work with a bunch of 50-year-olds, so I sit there like this. I go, just to make them feel like that, you know, they're not alone. But in reality, I don't like that. But no, like, that's crazy. That's crazy. And these people are responsible with whether or not we get nuked or not, which is nuts. And at the end of the day, we need to have some sort of look. Again, if Alexander Hamilton could be 21 years old when that happened, he already fought probably 8 duels. He lost probably like 8 duels. He probably has.
Is this a sword duel or a gun
Oh no,
duel?
they did gun duels. Well, I don't think. Well, he died. Alexander Hamilton died in a duel. Yeah, I'll share that.
How many duels did he do?
Pull it up. Pull it up. Let's see how many.
Alexander Hamilton duels. Duel number.
Duel count. 10 duels. 10 duels. All were settled before shots were fired. His son was killed in a duel. How did Hamilton die? Him and Aaron Burr met on the dueling ground.
I like how the headline is just duel.
In 1804, they met on the dueling grounds, which is crazy. They had dueling grounds at Weehawken, New Jersey, to fight the final skirmish of a long political personal battle. When the duel was over, Hamilton would be mortally wounded and Burr would be wanted for murder.
Bro, you can't be wanted for murder if you win a perfectly good duel.
It was mutual. He won the duel. Like, how are you going to complain about it? He said, bloody murder, bloody murder. In reality,
All right. Here, I'm gonna.
wait, why did Hamilton throw away his shot? They say he threw. Dude, he was throwing.
He was throwing?
Throwing? Dude, why was he throwing?
No, dude, I think Aaron Burr cheated.
Report Alexander Hamilton for throwing.
All right, here. Let me share. I got a good.
Take it. Pull it up.
J-Mo.
All
right.
Did
Aaron Burr cheat and Alexander Hamilton's final duel. The historical accounts of the 23 Aaron Burr.
Okay, let's look at dueling protocol. Let's start with
Oh
the
my god.
well, it's trick. Okay, known as the code duelio. Both parties are supposed to agree to terms and abide number of paces, the presence of seconds, and the method of signaling to fire. Okay. Alexander did not intend to shoot. See, he threw. He planned to throw away his first shot, known as Delop. Avoid killing his opponent, so opponent's honor. The first shot, Hamilton fired first and aimed the shot away.
Hitting a branch above and behind Burr. Burr then took a deliberate aim and fired at Hamilton, hitting him in the lower abdomen. Controversy. The main controversy revolves around whether Hamilton's shot was truly a Delop or if it was a misfire or poor aim. Some argue that Hamilton was genuinely trying to avoid hitting Burr, while others speculate that he may have been trying to hit Burr.
Dude, he had 10 duels. This guy's a duelist. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think he was trying to miss. But dude, imagine you're doing a duel like in that day and age with your gun, right? Because that thing takes a long ass time to reload. So imagine like you both miss, like you stand up and you're like you go like whatever you march and you shoot and you miss, you're like dang. I started again.
Drop on the ground?
No, you probably have to like be like, all right, retry. And then you take like 10 minutes repacking the gunpowder. You put I saw a whole video on you like pack the gunpowder and you pack in the projectile. And you gotta cock it, you prime it. Like that's crazy.
All right, I have to. Dude, Burr's actions are generally considered within the bounds of dueling etiquette at the time. So you gotta ask, why was Burr wanted for murder after the duel then? Oh my god.
What is illegal and social implications?
Reasons, bro. Legality of dueling. Dueling is illegal.
But they said it was in New Jersey. It was illegal.
It was illegal in both New York and New Jersey.
And I remember we saw it was in that dueling ground. It was in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And of course, it's
New
happening.
York had stricter anti-dueling.
I wonder how that reminds us of today and their anti-gun laws. Anyways,
Public outrage. Hamilton was a highly influential and respected figure.
wait, can you look up something for me? Can you look up was Alexander Hamilton a bad shot? Pull it up. Let's see.
Was Alexander Hamilton simply just a bad shot?
Mad because bad? No way. No one was in duel.
Hamilton's skill with a pistol. Hamilton was known to have participated in duels before. He was not known to be a poor shot.
Maybe he wanted to die, man.
Oh, he was a former officer in the Revolutionary War.
Which is crazy because, again, 1776, he was 21 years old. Let's do some math. This duel happened, I just had it here.
1802?
1802. 1776, if he was 21 in 1776. And then he was born what?
21 plus 26,
45?
47.
He was 47? Yeah, maybe he wanted to die.
1802 minus 1776 plus 21.
Maybe he just wanted to die.
Dude, did you? All right.
One last thing about Alexander Hamilton. How many children did Alexander Hamilton have? He had 8 kids, dude. No wonder.
All right, y'all children need to learn something about
Math.
command space. You can do math here.
Wait, really?
1802 minus 1776 plus 21.
You can really do this one. 12 minus 6.
Look, command
Dude,
space.
it doesn't do it. Look, I have it here.
Command space.
Oh,
It's right there.
that's so crazy.
12 plus 7 squared. 61.
Who's your favorite founding father?
Your mom.
Everyone can see how shocked I was at that. Dude, who's your favorite founding father, man? I'll tell you that. It wasn't.
I like George Washington because he has wooden teeth.
No, dude, it's all about Jefferson, man.
Why?
Because he was a what do you call it? What was that group called? You had the Federalists and you had the
Oh, the parties. The Confederates and the Federalists.
No, it was something about Democratic Republican or something like that. Federalist versus it wasn't anti-federalist, it was like Democratic Republic. Yeah, Democratic Republicans. So I think John Adams was a Federalist. Basically saying the federal government needs to have more oversight over kind of dictating laws and policies across the colonies, right?
So the Federalists were pro-central government.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So they were saying, but I don't know how that translated to taxes and things like that, but they were definitely more about like we need to have a central code of laws and kind of unite more of the united in the United States. I think that's kind of how originally it was. Like Federalists were united and the Democratic Republicans were the states. Right? Like states have the rights to be able to make whatever decisions they want to make for themselves. States have the rights. And then you basically join together. It's almost like a confederate versus a union. Right? Everyone is together in this group, but you still make decisions on your own. You're just together in terms of you're in a collective whole. But like the federal
That seems
government,
like propaganda.
well, the federal government wouldn't be able to say like, yeah, like weed is illegal in 30 times, for example. It would say Pennsylvania would say whether it's legal, Georgia would, right? But the Democratic Republicans would argue that there was no central thing, and I could be wrong. I don't think that the federal government can demand or require the states to which in effect makes better. You're making potentially a group of separate countries bound together by proximity or currency. But even currency, right? I mean, like,
Was there different currencies back then?
I assume it's gold. Metal, silver.
Was it just gold?
Look it up.
All right, price of gold.
What was the currency in 1776?
Wait, are you
Or
sharing the
in-
screen?
No, I'll share.
All right, I'm gonna pull up the price of gold. We're gonna talk about.
Share. Okay, what was the currency post-American Revolution? Continental currency. It bears the image of an eagle attacking a crane with the Latin motto "Exitus in dubio est," The outcome is in doubt.
Well, that's interesting.
Well, so they did have a common currency. Well,
The outcome is
North
in
Carolina, but
doubt.
I'm saying, no, look, it was different. The state of North Carolina. Let's go back. New York.
You just have New York and the Revolution.
Okay. State of New York, $10. No, look. State of New York, $10. Yeah. So they had separate currencies, I guess.
That's pretty cool. I assume they also used gold and silver.
I mean, for sure. I mean, that must have backed all that, right? It must have done.
All right.
The crown did the same thing.
All right, what are we thinking about gold? Oh, over one day, it went up
Let's look at the
1.24%.
let's look at the 6-month chart.
I'm down. Oh,
Okay. What was the
it was hanging out at 2,000 for a really long time, then it just lagged up to 23, 2,400.
what's YTD? YTD?
About 2,000 as well. Dude, and look at these percentages.
Yeah.
13, 19, 73.
11,196. Dude, how do they even have data on it all time?
Well, because
that's actually the most ridiculous thing they ever.
we're on the gold standard, so it's really easy.
No, but it's all time. Oh, I thought it was thinking like all time, like it's taking like Sumeria to do this. This is the exchange rate that they were.
Yeah, but
Sumerian gold is the U.S. dollar.
silver's doing pretty good too. I don't know why I just had the percentages down here. But one day,
Pull up YTD. I just want to see.
22. Dude, and look, it was riding up at 32 for a while. And what's 10 over 22 times 100 times 100? That's 45%. Dude, it went up 45%
In the year? Well, at its peak.
Yeah, but it's yeah,
Mm.
and it was hanging out at the peak for a while. And dude, it's so undervalued.
Buy silver, kids.
Yeah,
Buy silver. I need to get me some silver. To be honest.
dude, and look at this. You've never seen an all-time chart like this.
1980. Well, look, recession periods.
35.
Because look at that 8. What happened there? That was the big old recession in the 80s.
Looks like we're lining up for a recession here, huh?
Dude, there's no way it goes back to 1803, dude. There's just no way.
$1.
That's so crazy. That's so crazy. There's no way.
What's the all-time over here?
But is it taking the adjusted, like the value of today's dollar back then? Is that what it's taking? Or is it taking a dollar back then? And no, it has to be consistent. It has to be US dollar now, adjusted for back then.
I think it was just what it was going for back then.
Dude, I wish we were living in like the like the 40s, and we go over to like the ice cream shop, and you're like, let me get a soda, let me get a float, and they're like, yeah, two nickels. Sure.
Are you sure you want to be in the 40s?
No, because that was post World War II. Let's say 1947. What a time to be alive, honestly.
All right, what do we got here? I don't know. What do you think? Gold, bullish or bearish?
I am bearish on gold.
That's a wild thing. Okay.
I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. No, I mean gold's good. I wonder if same with silver, as we saw with those trends. I wonder if it's just one of those things where you need to understand the economic circumstance, because I feel like the trend is the price of gold and silver goes up during recessionary periods. So I wonder if you held on to it after things stabilize, if it would be worth the same. That's the only concern I have.
All right. Let's do this. Gold versus S&P. Dude, I've sent you this chart before, right? This is the chart. All right. So we're over 50 years, right? This is 50 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Silver, gold, Dow Jones, S&P. 50 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's call it 30 years. Oh, we're gaining. We're gaining.
Okay.
Gold, silver, S&P, Dow Jones. 10 years. Oh, close. And now if we go to 2000. Oh, that's interesting. Gold, silver are above.
I guess they outperform the market.
Sometimes.
Well,
Look at that.
yeah. When did it dip below? What was that period where it dipped below? Or it is below now?
Yeah, it's below now. I mean, it's primarily what? Because what is the date range? This is 2013.
Okay. When life was good.
So what if we go to just before 2008? Oh, we're close.
Yeah.
Well, look at those. Look at those gains in 2008.
Yeah.
Let's try this.
Huh. So look at the Dow Jones, man. Not doing hot. I'll tell you that. Depends on what kind of investor you are, I think. Because I think if you're looking at it long term, I've come to realize my investment strategy has been a lot more just pump and dump. Okay, no, that's the wrong word.
CP.
That's the word. That's the wrong word. Put lead. I just don't have the time to manage it, right? So it's like, I think gold is a safe place to put your money if you just want to put it somewhere in a vehicle and just let it coast, let it rise in value. That's a good mechanism, and I would argue more so than.
And that's what the average American does.
Yeah,
Right? Like in their Roth or 401k, like who goes in?
401k is a scam, dude. It's a scam. There's no money for 401k. Your 401k money is not real.
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Have you not heard the whole thing? I thought I talked to you about this, where your 401k is literally like being used as like a loan. I'm not sure if it's the government using it, but essentially, let's say you have $40,000 in your 401k right now,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you were to pull that out, you get penalties for that because they don't have the money on hand.
And why is that?
Because they're using it. Because well, I would say even more so. Also, I'll try to get a news in and also maybe refill my beverage. We'll be right back.
Yeah, why are you
It's so absurd. All right, come on. Come on back. Oh, we got Chewy in the building. Chewy?
Joey? Joey, everyone. Ladies and gents. You farted in my face earlier? My bad.
So yeah, we can't show any
Get your alcohol.
beverages. So make sure not to show it.
Why not? Do you have any age appropriate?
Yeah, we just can't show this. We're just drinking apple juice. Right?
We are. I love apple juice.
Me too.
Should we pause? No, I don't want to stitch together.
Yeah. All right. What are we talking about? 401k. Why is 401k?
Look, pull it up. I'm gonna see. Pull it up.
What's it say? Are you sure your screen?
I'm not. I'm just trying to see.
Dude,
Dude, I swear I saw something on this. I don't know. Like now, I'm kind of getting gaslit by the internet.
the bank. I mean, it is the same thing.
Yeah, but it says the government technically has access to your 401k if you don't pay your taxes. They can withdraw.
Huh.
But
withdrawals to pay your taxes.
yeah, talking about that anecdote for your listeners. I paid $3,000 in taxes out of pocket this past taxes. $3,000. That is a whole other thing. But
Do you not pay your taxes during the year?
I paid. No, I did. I took the highest deduction. I paid. You know how much I paid over the course of last year in taxes for my paycheck?
What percent?
Out of my salary, 35%.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Well, 30. No, let me see. Let me do the math.
I got a tax return.
27%. 27.
I got a tax return. You?
I paid.
That's crazy.
I paid.
Dude, it's crazy that you did get a tax return. I did because I liquidated my Roth this past year.
Well, that's the thing. I pulled from my 401k from my old job.
Dude, I liquidated the entirety of my Roth.
You zeroed it out? And you got a return? Dude. What? I literally pulled my 401k because I was like, why do I have it in here? That's absurd. And I had to pay $3,000 out of pocket. And then on top of that, get this. This is the anecdote I was getting to. I get a letter from the IRS. And they say, due to the coding of here or whatever, you actually still owe us $750. And I was like, y'all got to be kidding me, man. Y'all have got to be kidding me. They said, please pay by June 25th without not for penalties. Jeez, man. This government.
Dude, that's insane.
It's unbelievable. Because I bet you pulled more from your Roth than I did from my 401k.
Dude, I'm zeroed out.
And again, I think the amount was certainly more than what I pulled from my 401k. And the fact that I got wrecked as a result of that.
But I also unemployed for all of that.
I don't think that matters.
No, it does because
Really?
I was paying on
New pair.
expected deduction on, my previous salary, right?
Yeah.
Assuming that I was paying that deduction, assuming that I would make X amount for the year. And then when I didn't make that, not because I was unemployed the majority of the year, then I paid way more taxes up front. So even with the raw zero balance, which I invested gold,
I figured.
I was owed taxes because I already paid it.
Interesting. Well, government hates minorities, I guess. I'm just kidding. No, but it's crazy. The fact that we have this ridiculous tax system is something else, honestly. Like,
What?
I mean, dude, I think the best strat, honestly, and same for the listeners, just be an expat in another country. That's the strat.
An expat?
Yeah. Like retain your citizenship and move to a country like Panama or something. You're still a citizen. You just live. You're an expatriate, like that, right? You move out from the United States, you live somewhere else, but you retain your U.S. citizenship.
Do they pay a lot less taxes?
Yes, dude. Because the thing is, you still pay U.S. taxes. You do, but you only pay. I think it's something like it's something weird. It's like you pay. Pull it up. J-Mode. I love that. Hold on, can you share that real quick? No. What's his name? That's Mark Norman. Mark Norman saying J-Mode. Okay. Oh man, the viewers are getting my search history. Let's not do that.
That's why I was afraid of going on YouTube.
I don't want to go on YouTube.
Dude, no, you can go on YouTube and just share after.
Oh, good idea, dude. I just outed myself, dude. I just outed myself to the public. All right, let's see. They're like, what a nerd, dude. He watches Elden Ring lore. That's why I used to go to sleep, yo. It's my ASMR. Mark.
I guess I'll bring my computer over here.
Saying J-Mo.
Maybe we should have some podcast right here on this counter.
Yeah, I mean, I like this kind of thing. J-Mo, pull it up. Oh, yeah. Well, I found the Pull It Up remix. This is going to be something. Ad blocker. All right. I'm muted. Yeah, screen share here. Pull that up. Let's see if this. Let's see it.
Conversation.
Pull that up, JB. Pull that up. Let's go. Pull that up. Pull that up. Pull that up. Bitch. Pull that up, JB. Pull that up. Woo! Pull that up. Pull that up.
Pretty good.
Pull that up, JB. Pull that up. Cocaine. Pull that up. Pull that up. Pull that up. Spaghetti. Pull that up, JB. Pull that up. Palm Beach. Pull that up. Pull that up.
The problem is we're not realizing that everybody's susceptible. We're thinking, oh, I wouldn't get caught with that. You wouldn't get that because your dad's a good guy and your mom is a fucking physicist. Yeah. And you live in Long Island and you read a lot of books.
That's a good point.
If you were fucked and you were that guy, you would be that guy in every fucking situation.
Do you ever get bummed about the weight on your shoulders? Are you just trying to run a show and hang out and talk to people and everybody's like, you're evil or whatever. Put it down. Yeah, Fear Factor sucked. Here we go, news radio. Yeah.
Yours is like, we gotta worry about
We've had enough.
this guy.
We've had enough of that. That was pretty great, though. I'm gonna bookmark that for
All
later.
right, we have to get back to the topic.
We gotta get back. We gotta get back to it, but also like I like the free flow.
We have to get back to the economy. Where is the economy going?
Not anywhere good, man.
Why do you think so?
Because we have no money. Because America is in severe debt. Severe debt.
Well, hasn't that always been the
No, not always.
case?
Not always.
Well, I suppose we
were the standard. Then we got into debt with China.
China.
China. That's what happened. Pull it up, Jenny. Pull it up. That's a good. I gotta see that again.
Okay.
All right. New spot. All right, move these. All right, me my water.
All right. Yeah, probably.
Oh.
Yeah, so I really think the economy is going to hell. In a handbasket, to be exact. Let me share my screen. Window. Gotta share my Google search here. Yield curve inversion recession chart. All right, let's go to the Federal Reserve website. This isn't what I want. Here we go. This is what I want. So you see all these gray lines? These gray blocks right here? These are recessions. And this line is called the yield curve. There's 10-year treasuries and 2-year treasuries, right? The 10-year treasuries generally pay more interest than the 2-year because it's a longer loan. There's more risk over that period of time. But occasionally the 2-year interest rate will rise above the 10-year because of short-term perceived economic troubles, right?
Well, because they need the cash now. It's an immediate need versus the right.
Well, like the U.S. government needs the cash?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, well, sort of. I mean, the reason bond yields interest rates increase is because there's not enough buyers at a lower interest rate. So the U.S. government is forced to increase the interest rate, probably because there's a mixture of demand of the U.S. needs to borrow money, so they're willing to raise the interest rate, and then a mixture of people aren't willing to buy at the lower interest rates because either inflation or there's risk or something like that.
Okay.
So basically, the moral of the story here is every time the yield curve inverts, means it goes below zero, meaning 2-year interest rates are greater than 10-year interest rates. There's a recession that happens generally after the yield curve uninverts. So 1980s, we see yield curve inversion, recession right here. We see 1980 again, or I guess this was the 70s, but 80 again, right, near the uninversion, then you get the recession right here.
Right.
You get the inversion right here, another inversion, and then finally this period of inversions uninverts, and then the recession comes. Small inversion here was not followed by a recession. But then shortly after, I guess this was 1998, And then this was 2000. Then of course we had the .com recession.
Right.
We have this. Okay, so this is the 2008 Great Financial Crisis. You can see there was quite a delayed period, like after the uninversion, that this recession happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then, there was a small recession in 2020 because of COVID. That was actually still preceded by a bond yield curve inversion. And then finally, at the end of this chart is where we are now. Okay, graph of length of yield curve inversions versus recession severity. Okay, I don't know. I'm gonna find this here. Okay, we gotta go to YouTube or.
Right.
I just don't want to expose myself. Gamer Trades. Okay, that's the channel I'm looking for. Game of Trades. There we go. Let's see. Can we get the chart I'm looking for here? Will this be it? Please. So basically, what I'm looking for is, generally speaking, the yield curve. The longer the yield curve is inverted, the more severe the recession is that follows after the uninversion.
Okay.
So, and the reason I bring that up is because we've been inverted for 2022 to 2024, almost 2 years now. Longest yield curve inversion.
Oh,
Okay, yeah. So this is cool.
this is the
Longest ones. Here, let's see. Great Depression yield curve inversion. Yield curve is inverted 7 times. Okay, really? Well, I was hearing that essentially, I don't exactly know where I saw this. I think it was this Game of Trades channel on YouTube. But whenever the bond yield curve inverts, like they had a graph that was essentially like a dot chart or whatever. And it was like the longer the yield curve is inverted, the more severe the recession is. And this being the longest time we've been inverted, I think, and the other one was the Great Depression. We should be looking at a pretty severe period of economic tribulation, some might say.
But are we not in that now?
I mean, we're definitely, I don't think we've seen the worst of it.
What do you think the worst of it looks like? We already have crazy inflation going on.
Yeah, the inflation is pretty bad right now.
Prices of homes are high. Prices of rent is high.
Yeah, but unemployment is still like a 50-year lows. I think.
Is that them chalking up the numbers? You think?
Yeah, so that's the establishment payroll report saying we're like 4% or whatever. The numbers that are there's a bunch of different unemployment or employment surveys.
Well, especially with like Uber and stuff, it's like contingent work.
Yeah.
You know, where you're like a contractor, you can count that as employment, but it's not technically fully being employed.
Yeah. I was just seeing the like we've gone over zero hedge articles before.
We did. Yeah, we looked at that before.
Maybe that's the video that didn't get uploaded, but it was like the establishment payroll report diverges significantly from what's actually happening on the ground.
Yes.
So yeah, I do think a lot of it is manipulation.
So yeah, it kind of brings me to the question: like, then what are we missing from a full-fledged recession? It's all kind of already in motion.
Well, the Great Recession was pretty bad. Like the housing market obviously crashed.
Right.
We're still missing like the reaction, right, to the recession, like decreasing the interest rates. So money becomes easier to come by or to borrow. We've seen bank failures since March 2023 or 2022 or whatever.
Yeah.
Those are some of the biggest bank failures that we've ever had in history, in U.S. history. So, I mean, we're not missing much, but like 2008 had way bigger unemployment numbers than even the non-manipulated survey show. Like that. So, like, there's still a lot of unemployment that still needs to hit, and that means businesses will close. And we're also not even in the climax, the bottom of the commercial real estate bubble.
Sure.
That like started pre-COVID, and then was kind of caused by COVID and overinflated prices in general.
Right.
The work from home stuff and the crime getting out of control. Like all that's contributing to the commercial real estate bubble. And generally speaking, commercial real estate prices are a leading indicator of where residential real estate goes.
Right.
And so if we are in a commercial real estate bubble, then we're likely also in a residential real estate bubble, which makes sense. I mean, I'm sure you've seen the TikToks and YouTube videos of people in our generation complaining that they can't buy houses, or anything like that with their job, with how much debt like they had to go into, like education, car debt, like all this sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense that we're in a housing bubble from that perspective, and from the perspective of there's like charts out there that track like median income to housing prices, and housing prices like vastly outpace.
I've seen that, yeah.
Income, which I mean, and it's at levels, and it's like spiky, you know.
Well, I mean, you also have to account for scarcity too. Like you have to talk about like how many are available. Because it's also a supply and demand issue as well. Like, how many houses are actually available to sell versus how many people are looking to buy them? Right. That's got to be part of it.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, but I've also seen today that they're the deep state. Just kidding. No, it's like construction, residential construction firms like D.R. Horton. I was watching a video today that was saying like there's a lot of artificial scarcity. So D.R. Horton will go out and put like sold signs on like half the houses in the neighborhood to stir up fires, and then they'll remove them once there's fires. There's people living in the houses, and like there was stuff like this happening in the 2008 recession too, like with the ninja loans, like crap like this, that like corruption,
Right.
like. Do you know what ninja loans stand for?
Like, no.
It's like no income, no job, something. I don't know what the last
A loan extended to borrow with little or no attempt by the lender to verify the applicant's ability to repay. No income, no job, no assets.
no income, no job, no.
Whereas most lenders require loan applicants to provide evidence of a stable stream of income or sufficient collateral, and ninja loan ignores that verification process.
And there's even like lenders saying that they require 0% down payment and on their loan, and like today, and there's other lenders saying, "Oh yeah, we'll give you $15,000 interest free on your down payment, and it's just owed back at the end of your mortgage terms, like 30 years." People are going to get screwed over by that. I mean, obviously it's 30 years down the line, so it doesn't.
Well, if it's zero down, generally that reflects in your interest rate, though. That's going to show up in your interest rate. Like if you put zero down, same thing with a car. Put zero down on a car, that means your interest rate's going to be higher. The more you put down, the less your interest rate.
Yeah. I think it does show like some desperation from the lender side, though.
I mean, yeah.
And
Also, because no one's winning. No one has the funds to be able to purchase a home right now with the inflated price of the property. Like, who wants to put $300,000 down on a 1980s built condo? You know, who wants to put that much money down? It doesn't like that is not a good purchase. It's not. You know, it's not worth that money. So it's like that's also why they're trying to stimulate people to buy things by making these more palatable. But ultimately, it's like it doesn't change the fact that the actual face value of that property is overpriced, right? So,
yeah. You know, I was talking to a guy in the sauna the other day. It was actually like probably a month ago or something. But I was talking to him. Apparently, he owns like multiple businesses, stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, I'm still living with the rents because, you know, I don't want to throw money away in an apartment, and housing prices are just too expensive. And I think we're gonna head into a recession. I could see some price corrections. And the weird thing was, he was like pretty chill that whole conversation. But then once I said that, he was like, "We're not going to see a 2008 again. We're absolutely not going to see that." Like he was really worked up about it, dude. It was just like he was like, the system isn't designed to allow for market corrections. It was like he was like the demand always outpaces the supply. I was like, well, then why did the 2000 happen in the first place? The system was designed not to fail. Like,
no,
dude, he was irrational.
That's not a good take.
He was irrational.
Yeah.
And the reason I think he got so worked up was because I think maybe he thought that there was a chance for it coming up soon.
Probably. I mean, some people just also get defensive because of their partisan alignment of what the current administration is doing. That's kind of part of it as well. But I mean, honestly, it doesn't change the fact that we are in a tough situation right now. And you do see Gen Z people basically complaining about that stuff, like you were mentioning about not being able to buy a home, but it's also true. I mean, there's truth in it. It's not like a false statement, like it is. Especially like if you're in a scenario where you can't save on rent, right? Like it's like those situations where you're kind of forced between a rock and a hard place. Like it's either you go ahead and whatever you got down on a house or a property to own, and you're paying way too much, your interest rates are way too high for what that are, and the face value of the house is way too much, or you go and you rent, you get no ownership, but your monthly payment is still like super high.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's better in that scenario?
Nothing's better. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you can move. I don't know where you move.
Latin America, money goes a lot further. Like that. It goes a lot further. Go to Australia.
No,
I looked up.
because you know what they did in Australia? They killed you. They literally executed you if you didn't have a mask on during COVID.
I saw online.
They literally took out a 50 cal minigun,
That's
lined everyone up that didn't wear a mask, and and executed every single person in Australia that didn't wear a mask. Look it up. Did Australia execute people? No.
it is recommended. No, but it said like the safest places to be in a World War III scenario are Australia and New Zealand.
And white.
Yeah, but there's military bases there, so you probably won't be there.
You think there's no military bases? And
Well, there is, but there's a U.S. naval base in Hawaii. That's going to be a military target. That's going to be a technical use case.
Do you think we should just go to like South Chile?
I think Panama, Costa Rica, Central America.
What about Antarctica?
Not much out there.
You know you're not allowed to go there, right?
I swear they're hiding something. I swear they're hiding something.
Have you looked at the reports of what the guys who explore there say is
No.
there?
What do they say there?
Continents. Like, not just one continent, Antarctica. Continents.
Huh.
Like, they're hiding.
Well, I've seen a day in the life of a guy who works in an outpost out there, and he just like, you got to bring like a freaking, like when you leave to go to your whole station to go to bed and stuff, you got to bring like a flare gun, you got to bring like an emergency set, like kit and all this stuff, like 'cause it's not really habitable.
Is it night all the time where he is?
No, it's daytime. I think it's just like very limited daytime. You get daytime.
Is there other times a year where it's day all day?
I'm sure. I mean, look, if Norway gets that way, I'm sure it does Australia. Sure.
J-Mo!
What up? What up? 6 months of daylight in its summer and 6 months of darkness in the winter.
Depends. 2 seasons, summer and winter. What? Why does Antarctica only have 2 seasons?
On the pole.
What about spring?
I don't get that, man. That happens when you're in the middle. Closer to the middle.
Okay.
Closer to the middle. Not at the, because if you're at the equator, that's
All right. Imagine the sun here.
Yeah.
The Earth's axis is here. Antarctica is obviously in winter. Earth axis here. Watch the South Pole. Antarctica obviously.
Even when it's
summer.
rotating.
Yeah, it's
Antarctica
rotating
is still
like
getting
this.
summer.
Right.
Right.
Well, what about here? Or here? Spring and fall. It's here. It's here. Winter, summer, spring, fall. Google is hiding something.
Yes, Antarctica is spring.
Okay.
Spring is time for change, with the sun emerging from the winter. Still cold and frozen sea ice. Sea ice can reach an average of 22 million square miles.
Spring is a time for change.
There are only 2 seasons. But then here, Antarctica, there's only 2 seasons.
That's mental, bro. All right, go back to the. Are they hiding something? Wait a second, I didn't say cities or man-made buildings. You're not sharing your screen. Dude, you gotta share your screen. Are they hiding something in Antarctica?
Good aura.
All in all, explore. Yeah. Richard E. Byrd. Have you heard of Richard E. Byrd?
You can only go between mid-November and February.
When it's completely dark. Oh no, that's
For them, yeah.
Richard Byrd, an American naval officer, was a pioneering American aviator, polar explorer, and organizer of polar logistics. Dude, this guy had some crazy stories. Richard Byrd, Antarctica Secrets.
Oh, look at your meeting.
Who is this guy? I'm just a regular guy. It looks like I study calculus every day of my life and do these problems backward or forward. Huh. What is this guy's deal?
This isn't real.
Visiting all 3,071 American counties. Wait, go down. Huh. One major component of my lifelong goal to be the most traveled human in the United States was to visit all 3,071 counties and parishes.
Okay.
The general public doesn't know that 3,070 of these counties could be entered for free.
Alaska doesn't have counties. Oh gosh, I'm loading crazy. Oh gosh, I think it's gonna die.
All right.
I need to plug in. Oh gosh, I need to plug in. I think I'm gonna lose. I think I'm losing it.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I think I'm losing it. I'm losing connection, y'all. We can do it. Where's the plug? There's that. Right here. Go. Go, 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 adventure. Alright.
Are you good?
We're charging.
All right. Well, maybe we should wrap up. Do you have any closing thoughts? No.
I think
You think we're F to the A?
yeah. Dark times ahead, y'all.
The tribulation here, guys.
Things are gonna take time. It's gonna take time, but it's not good things are not on the horizon. However, not to say
I think if the situation in Russia solves itself, we're better. If Israel-Palestine doesn't fix itself, we're in decent shape because Iran's not that much of a threat.
Yeah, especially since we just killed their president.
Who?
Iran. We killed their supreme leader.
Ayatollah? No, we did.
Dude.
Dude, no way Khomeini died.
Dude. Yes, he did. Dude, he's dead, bro. Share your screen.
No way this guy died, dude.
Bro, how do you where have you been
I've
living?
been living in work.
Former supreme leader.
No, this is the wrong Ayatollah.
Iran supreme leader dead. Look up that.
Ali Khomeini, okay. He's alive, dude.
No, he's not.
Yes. They killed.
Who did he kill? Who did he kill?
They killed some like military guy. Like you're talking about the whole strike in Syria?
Ibrahim Raisi. I guess it's
The
president.
president. Yeah, okay. Yeah, different. Not supreme leader.
uh
Supreme leader is the Ayatollah. He's like the head of the theocracy. It's different. He runs the thing. The president's like a political head, like a political person. This guy runs. This guy runs.
So you heard about the helicopter crash?
Yes, I heard about that. That I know about. I thought they killed the Ayatollah. Like, dude, shit is about to go down. Like if they kill him, shit is going down, dude. Well, actually, I don't know if it would, because he's kind of like the. He's pulling strings.
Yeah, maybe things would just calm down if you died.
Maybe we have his hardline supporters who would try to get amendments for that.
Like the president who died.
Like head of the military. They'll be like, Ayatollah died. But there's only ever been two.
Two guys?
Yeah, one with the when we first looked up. The first Ayatollah Khomeini. He was the first revolutionary Ayatollah, and then there's now this guy, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah. It's so funny. I thought they were the same person. I thought this guy was like ancient. He's just been the guy for so long. But I guess not.
so
They're not very either way.
we have some war coming up, maybe, unless Russia solves itself. Right? Economy bad.
Very bad.
Corruption. Political corruption.
Political election coming up.
Yeah, we have the election.
ESG bullshit.
ESG.
Social instability.
We have a lot of guns.
More guns than people, in fact. China. China. He said, hold it up. Give me a second. You need to pull something up. Hold on.
What do we got? Cyber attacks. AT&T outage in March and June for February. And China.
Oh, we gotta play this clip, y'all. Y'all say he's a good president. Y'all are stupid. Give me a second. Let me unmute so I can hear for myself.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was in the the foothills of the Himalayas with Xi Jinping, traveling with him. That's we traveled 17,000 miles when I was vice president. I don't know that for a fact.
Let's play that back. Full screen this time.
So you think you know Wix?
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word.
Look at the background for it.
I was in the foothills of the Himalayas with Xi Jinping, traveling with him. That's we traveled 17,000 miles when I was vice president. I don't know that for a fact.
What is he trying to say?
Foothills of the Himalayas. Xi Jinping. Sorry. No, that's ridiculous. That's our president, y'all. He said, American community cries in one word. What do you think?
What do you think the one word was supposed to
Not,
be?
not that. He said one word. Excuse me. Foothills of the Himalayas. Xi Jinping.
Freedom.
Travel miles. What was he talking about?
Probably selling crack cocaine for son Hunter.
Hunter Biden.
Big man.
Imagine
We're
if you're Hunter
the
Biden.
big man.
Dude, if I was Hunter Biden, I would do the same thing, dude. My dad was a loser.
The big
I'll be doing cocaine in Congress too, dude. Who cares? They found another stuff like how they found cocaine and they find it in like the actual building.
Dude, they found it multiple times.
They were like, "Who's cocaine?" In this? Imagine if he's gonna just raise it. Yeah, that was me. Sorry, it won't happen again. That's crazy.
Must have fell out of my pocket. Sorry, officer.
I do have a final closing thought.
What's that? China?
No,
Does RFK Jr. want to make an appearance?
He said, our overall morality is America. Excuse me. As Americans is compromised. Our current leadership is corrupt. What else? Our leaders are, we're in trouble.
Yeah, let's put a maximum age limit of what would you say? 50?
No, I'd say
60? 55. Let's call it Medicare age.
55.
If you have to be on Medicare, you can't be the president.
30 to 55. I say 30 to 55. Have some good ideas, change things. I like Vivek. I thought Vivek was a good change.
You can even get elected when you're 54. You just can't get elected when you're 56.
Look at Obama. He went from being a young guy to being gray hair. Him and no, that and his wife Michael, Michelle.
Husband Michael.
Husband Michael. Michelle. Sorry, wife Michelle. Great lady.
Definitely
Man,
U.S. citizen.
you know,
Certainly.
hey,
His birth certificate wasn't sus at all.
you know, it's funny. I saw a clip of him, like some like conspiracy theorist online was like, "Oh, Obama's still president," or something like that, and it would say this whole clip of him saying, "Yeah, if I could still me, like I'm doing Obama. If I could still be president, I would." He said something like that, and then it was like. He was like, and then he just kept showing Joe Biden like pictures, and they're like, it's Obama, it's Obama. And they kept showing him like at like press conferences, like Obama like put maybes in the audience, and it's like Obama's not. Obama's not president.
Do you think Obama's like,
Obama?
advising Joe
No.
Biden?
I don't think so.
No.
Obama. Dude, my dad used to say,
I'm a convicted felon.
my dad used to say, oh man, President Barack Obama. He said, China.
Dude, the first conversation my dad ever had with me about politics was to tell me Obama was a terrorist Muslim.
Well, you know what's funny is my dad's actually like, at that point, he was pretty liberal. And he just went Barack Obama, dude. That is crazy though.
Liberal
Muslim is crazy.
Thing.
Liberal Muslim is crazy. Liberal Muslim is crazy. That's crazy. They're like almost mutually exclusive. It's like you put like these hard line like extremists, religious extremists, and you say like, you guys are good with trans, right? like you think Osama bin Laden was good on trans? Probably.
Obama bin Laden. Obama bin Laden.
And Michael bin Laden. Dude, he ruined. I mean, she ruined our school lunches.
She, what's the difference?
Obama. Wait, pull it up. Pull it up. We all one thing. Closing remark.
Pull it up, J-Mo.
Pull it up. Let's see.
Osama bin Laden.
We're looking at this. All right,
let me mute.
Yeah, you gotta look at this. Make sure you mute. All right.
Obama.
Obama.
Wait, if I've been just like that the whole time,
No.
why am I just a little gay? I have my camera on.
Pose Himalayan. You can't.
Well, guys, girls, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Two Guys, One Book. Here's what I recommend if you don't want to get wrecked. First, buy about 7 years worth of food. Second, buy about 7 years worth of water filtration devices, for all your family and your friends. Just buy a bunch of life straws that you just calculate, every person drinks half a gallon of water a day, times 365, times 7, times the number of people. That's the amount of gallons you have. And then you multiply it back into however many gallons of life straw filters. That's how many life straws you need. So 7 years of life straws. Third, get some solar power generators. That's a pretty good idea. Fourth,
Oh, I don't know. Me is your idea.
buy some tools. Get some hammers.
You sure we got a toolkit? If you don't have a toolkit, you're a loser.
Get some pliers, like those little fold-out pliers with
Screwdriver.
the knives and stuff inside.
Multi-tool.
Yeah, the multi-tool. Get one of those. Get like 4 extra knives. get about 1,000 lighters, like 1,000 little propane or butane little lighters. Those will come in so handy over the next 7 years. What other tools? Maybe a hoe or 4. Maybe a shovel.
Well,
Some 2x4s.
yeah,
Some paracord.
some good rope. Never do you wrong.
Like 6 rolls of duct tape at least.
Yeah, you need tape. You also need some flashlights.
Ooh, flashlights and some tarps. Get a bunch of tarps.
Maybe a tent. Sleeping bag.
Here's what you should
Outdoor equipment.
Look up online. You know how to look stuff up online now that we've shown you how to look stuff up online. If you're a beginner. Look up all the things that you need for backpacking. Get yourself about 7 backpacking bags, 7 pairs of shoes, a lot of shirts and shorts and jeans and boots and gloves and
Steel toe boots,
underwear and more gloves. And buy a bunch of backpacking supplies. Buy yourself a little oven. You put sticks in there. You light the sticks on fire. It heats up the pan. It's called a rocket stove.
You think we're saying this is the end of the world? Really, it's because you're going to be homeless.
Or if it's the end of the world, it's still going to be used.
You're going to be living outside.
Hey, and if none of those things happen, then you can bring you and 6 buddies
to Antarctica.
Backpacking in Antarctica.
Sleeping bags. Parka jacket for nuclear fallout.
Don't buy any masks.
That's not going to help you.
And don't even bother preparing for a nuclear scenario.
You're probably dead anyways.
Yeah. So, no EMP prep.
I mean, even out here, if a nuclear event happened in Atlanta, we would die.
I'd rather die.
Well, the fallout would come, it would travel pretty fast out here. Because once it hits, it spreads miles and miles out. So we would definitely, I think the immediate impact would affect the entire metro Atlanta area. Aside from, I think maybe once you get past the 285 area, I don't think it would get much further than that for the immediate blast.
Oh, we're way far.
Yeah, but I think with the fallout. Because I think even just the immediate blast, I don't think that even that would, the fire would peak out. It's the shock. I think the shock after would kind of level out, and then it's the fallout that would spread out here. And I think that to deal with the fallout, you'd have to be make it.
You're 50 miles away from 285?
Yeah, far away. I think I'd at least 50, 75 miles away from the last one.
Oh, man, dude.
How far do you have to be to avoid nuclear fallout radiation?
Oh, man. Okay. 10 to 20 miles.
It says it can be very dangerous. Am I safe from a nuke 30 miles away? Anyone up to a few miles away would suffer third-degree burns. People up to 53 miles away could experience temporary blindness. Fires would go through the wreckage. Emergency services struggles for survivors. How far away is safe?
Okay.
It says, although details about how far, the most dangerous concentrations of particles occur within 10 to 20 miles downwind of the explosion.
So as long as they're not downwind.
You get a first degree to burn 7 miles away.
Third degree burns 5 miles. Second, 4, 6. First, 7.
It's 100 miles away. How far of a nuke? Oh, this doesn't help.
Okay, I think we're actually good if Atlanta gets nuked.
Well, let's look. There's actually a simulator. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show a simulator because this is going to be fun. Nuclear blast.
Yeah, let's see it. Nuke map.
Yeah, this is what I like to use. I did this when I was living in my apartment at the time. So freaking. So,
All right, and why don't you go get yourself a bunch of gold and silver while you're at it too?
just on camera. On share screen, just buy some shit. So,
And a bunch of bottles of water.
okay. So,
Drag the marker to wherever you'd like to target. Oh, go to Hartsfield Jackson.
the airport, dude. We're even safer in the airport. I'm saying if we hit like the middle of Atlanta, like 5 points, like the middle, like right here. Like let's see, we hit right here. Okay, drag it with the marker. Hold on, y'all.
You gotta zoom out again.
Alright, zoom in.
What are the odds you get 5 points right on this?
Well, I'm just trying to see if Sandy Springs is safe. Let's see. Let's go right here. Boom! Alright. We got it. Choose a warhead yield. Let's say preset. No, dude, it says accrued nuclear terrorist weapon is 100.
No, you gotta get 10 kilotons is 1,000.
Oh. Well, this is an improvised nuclear terrorism. Let's see. North Korean weapons, it's 150, dude.
Okay.
It says MT, dude. Minute and 1 gram is MT.
Okay, do that.
Largest pure
Do Russian one.
Which one?
I don't know.
Dongfang 4, China's first to put ICBM 3.3. China's current 5 MT. Yeah, let's see what if China's current. Well, Tsar Bomba large USSR is 100 MT.
Bro.
Yeah. Should we just play around with Tsar Bomba?
Yeah.
Let's see what the Tsar Bomba does. Height of burst, air burst, surface,
Do surface.
do casualties, radioactive fallout.
No, do surface.
What is air burst? Oh, it means it bursts in the air.
Yeah, high EMP.
What's the difference between the two things?
Surface is like just striking the surface. Air burst is like bursting up in the air.
There's one like more casualties than the other.
So air burst will produce more EMP effect, and probably the radiation would be pretty tough. Surface would just detonate buildings and stuff.
So surface and spread further.
Let's do surface first. Come on.
Surface first?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I was thinking.
Detonate. Boom.
Oh. No. Hold on.
Exactly.
Zoom out.
1,200,000.
Zoom out. Dude, why is he going north like that?
Oh, it's because of wind direction.
Oh. So depending on where
This is how far. But this is still saying how far the fallout is.
So if we get F by the
It
wind,
can reach as far as Ottawa in terms of the fallout.
if we get F by the wind.
Well, this is okay. Let's zoom back in. Effects for 100. Okay. So if we zoom in, radiation radius, 500 REM radiation dose, likely fatal in about 1 month. 15% will eventually die of cancer. That's the immediate Atlanta area. Fireball radius, maximum size of the nuclear fireball would reach out to East Point, close to the airport. Moderate, okay, what's red? Heavy blast damage, 20 psi overpressure, heavily built or severely damaged, fatality 100%, heavy damage. This is moderate, right? What is this?
Yeah, it's moderate.
Then what's light? Oh, here we go. Light is out here. Oh my gosh, my screw phone.
You can like click on the light on the side.
Yeah.
No, go to the side. No, right. On the right. Click on that. It'll here, zoom out.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So light blast damage is this. But I'm trying to see if.
Yeah, Sandy Springs is moderate.
Well, I think I'm good though, because I'm kind of like.
The chances of fire starting in commercial and residential damage are high, and buildings so damaged are at high risk of spreading fire. Most residential buildings collapse. Injuries are universal. Fatalities are widespread. I wouldn't consider you in the clear.
No, and out here it's light. Thermal radiation radius is 3rd-degree burns. They destroy the pain nerve, severe scarring. That goes all the way out to Canton. And then thermal, what's the thermal radiation? Yeah. Dang.
Oh, there's coming.
Yep. You're getting some 3rd-degree burn, baby.
Even in my house?
Man. Let's see. Let's try a different bomb.
Let's wait. What about air burst? Let's do air burst.
Oh yeah. Dang. Still a lot. Oh gosh, a whole lot of fatalities. Fireball radius. Anything inside of this is instantly vaporized.
That's a big nuke. Dude, zoom out. Dude, look how much of Georgia that takes out.
Yeah.
What the
And then what's the other thing? Moderate blast damage is out here. Dude, you're gonna get moderate blast damage in Athens. Close to Athens.
But this is the biggest.
This is the biggest. 3rd-degree burns all the way out here. Wait, hold on. Fireball radius. Oh, I was looking at this wrong. I'm sorry. Fireball radius is here. This is the moderate blast damage. Thermal radiation goes out here. And then the last one is light blast damage. That goes all the way out to Athens.
Oh man.
Let's try a different bomb real quick. Let's do China's currency. Or we do surface.
Yeah, let's do surface. Oh, I don't really like.
It's not as bad. Fireball is here. Heavy blast damage there. Moderate here. Light blast damage here.
Oh, go find Sandy Springs.
I'm saying. Kind of.
You still get 3rd-degree burns.
Hold on.
And
Well,
like
depends where. I don't know if I'm all the way over there.
Where's 400?
Hammond Drive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm right around here. Yeah, I might get a little hurt.
Especially if the wind.
Well, no, it's light.
in your direction.
It says light blast damage. That's the light blast damage.
Dude, but go down to thermal radiation.
That's here.
Yeah, you're getting 3rd-degree burns.
Oh.
Dude, you know 3rd-degree burns like go down to the bone?
Well, that's what it says here. It says they are often painless because they destroy the pain nerves, can cause severe scarring, and can require amputation. 100% probability for 3rd-degree burns at this yield. Hold on, hold on. I'll look this up.
Oh man.
How many tons is the newest Chinese The DF-45, according to a blog post, China's DF-45 has a takeoff weight of 112 tons, payload 6 range.
Well, okay, so 650 kiloton warheads.
Well, it says be armed with 7.
Ah. What's 7 times 650? What are you doing in the Google search bar? 4. Okay.
Yeah. 5. It's close to 5. This is what it is.
That's wild.
How is this a real? If that's what they're doing now, how is this 100? Well, it's designed. It was never tested. I guess that's a important designation to make.
Yeah.
Design that tested. 50. Oh my.
Let's do a minute, man.
Wait, did I do the Chinese on surface or did I do it on?
I think you did it on the surface. So many people get killed in the airburst.
Yeah.
Or F in the A.
I gotta get further north. Can't run away.
No way.
Okay, let's see. Yeah. That's tough.
Do a minute, man, though.
Where was that? Minute 1. Not bad. not terrible. Let's see what's going on up here. I think.
Yeah, you'd be fine.
Oh, if I just pray the wind's going that way.
1 rads per hour.
Well, this is a small bomb, dude. This isn't doing anything. Like, that's so tiny.
Yeah, compared to China's 5 megaton
Or compared to this.
monster.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's wiping it out, dude. Yeah, not good. Not good, kids. Not good.
Nukemap.com.
Play around with it.
Learn.
You know what? Hold on. I want to do one more thing. I want to see what happened in New York on news.
Learn something new every day. So just type in a city.
Holy shit. Almost 8 million casualties.
Do an airburst. Yeah, airburst is worse.
Good.
Wow.
This our bombo would kill 8 million people.
In any given 24-hour period, there are on average 20.4 million people in the light blast range of the simulated detonation. 20 million. And 14.6 million got killed or injured. Hey, why don't you see how big of a tons, like, go back to New York, right?
And the last one?
Yeah, go back to New York. Now, add a few zeros to the warhead yield.
How many?
A few. Yeah.
Bad. Okay.
What's it saying?
100 megatons, 100,000 kilotons. What? The Czar bomb was the max?
Dang it.
Yeah, it's the max.
Dude,
Oh,
come
you don't miss the max.
on, bro. I want to know how big the nuke is to detonate the whole world.
What if North Korea did?
What is this? What are you doing?
This is different. Yeah, this is crazy, guys. We have some weird fish.
All right, leave down in the comments below how many megatons it would require to kill the whole world.
Or just the eastern seaboard. Well, honestly, dude, that's a lot of fatalities. That's a lot of dead people, man.
What's the most populated place in the world?
I think it's okay. Look it up. Pull it up. Pull it up.
Get on over there.
All right, Tokyo, Japan. All right. Let's do a surface burst on Tokyo. Not even saying the amount of injuries.
What?
What was it saying? See Tokyo, Japan, warhead yield, Zarbamba. Yep, a lot of casualties. A lot of casualties.
It's savage that we went over to Japan after Hiroshima.
Well, I mean, let's look at it if China did it. Because if China did it as an airburst,
China.
Dude,
think about the airburst. Like,
oh, that's not that. Holy 4 million.
the thing about the airburst is, like, imagine if your missile defense intercepted a nuke over your land.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be an airburst.
Yeah. If it, like, didn't get it, like, at an atmospheric level, like, low, like, got it at its peak.
Dude, I don't know how high up an airburst is.
Below 100,000 feet, high enough so it doesn't touch the ground. Wow. That's the sphere.
So it's in the atmosphere, 100,000.
This is in the stratosphere. Or no, third highest extending from 160,000 feet. What? Okay, so that's the stratosphere. The stratosphere needs it.
Dude, look at this image right here.
Yes. Yeah, so it's the stratosphere. So that would be the second level.
The second level of
the atmosphere in terms of like lowest to highest. So it's
Stratosphere is pretty high.
yeah. It says supersonic flights.
Levels of the atmosphere. Is
It's like where weather balloons go.
stratosphere? Dang.
Pretty high.
The mesosphere.
So Mount Everest gets like right below the troposphere. Stratosphere is all the way up here.
The thermosphere. The exosphere.
The exosphere is up there.
I like how they all have sphere in the name. Troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere.
Yeah, if it just needs to detonate in the exosphere, I think we're screwed. Wow, that's how that works.
If it detonated in the atmosphere,
Well, if it detonated in like that high level, I think like our the Earth's atmosphere would like kind of protect.
yeah.
I don't think it would be going that deep down.
Dude, isn't this temperature chart super weird? Let me share my screen. Oh, we're still looking at nuke map. Look at this temperature chart. So in the bottom layer, it gets mad cold below freezing. Then you get to the troposphere or the stratosphere, and it starts warming back up to about freezing. And then the mesosphere, it starts getting mad cold again, even colder than the coldest of the troposphere. And then the thermosphere gets warmer than it even is on the surface of the Earth. Doesn't make much sense to me.
I feel like it would just get colder. So they go up.
Yeah.
Huh. You guys have the U.S. government?
Dude, they gotta be hiding something.
Whoa. That is very strange.
All right. The closing thought for me is what I already said. You know, buy your preparatory supplies because we have bad news on the horizon. And if you can't buy any preparatory supplies, well, I suggest pray really hard. You should probably be praying really hard, even if you can buy preparatory supplies. But if you can't, you especially should. And that will get you through the tribulation of the next few years. And I think we should watch one more video. I got one really good video here. Hold on, mute your mic.
I'm muted. Oh, mute my mic.
Hold on. my face with this guy's head like delicate electronics without adequate protection. I'm looking mine. Did you hear that? Rushing to me. No. All right, all right, all right. That's it. 2 guys, 1 book. Bye.